Okay, I'm going to finish reading the rest of it. There was happy tears. I'm not sad. It's happy tears. Just the words. Okay, so it's says I left off where I want to go home. Okay. A child we'll call Deborah, for the sake of privacy, was born with a valve defect in her stomach. Doctors were at a loss whether she would outgrow the condition. All during Deborah's childhood, her parents had introduced her to strangers. Our daughter was born with a stomach defect. She doesn't keep food down very well. Negative comments like that added an extra burden to this poor child's youth. One day, the problem reached a crisis. Deborah's parents found her turning blue and rushed her to a hospital. By luck and divine grace, she pulled through. The doctors who treated her predicted that the stomach valve, which they fixed, would cause no future problems. Now, Deborah's older sister took a fiendish delight in making fun of her. Soon after Deborah returned from the hospital, her sister picked a fight. Family rules kept the older girl from giving the younger one a physical beating, yet verbal abuse and name-calling did the job. They left no visible scars. On that particular day, the younger girl simply got tired of the hazing and turned on her sister. She beat up her tormentor. Outraged, the elder ran and told her father. The wisdom of Solomon he had not, so he sent Deborah to her room. Deborah was recovering from a serious condition. Her sister had started the fight, but she's the one banished to her room. She lay weeping on the bed, crushed by the injustice of it. I want to go home, she cried. I just want to go home. In a spiritual sense, her heart was saying, I want to go home to God because of my unhappiness. Each of us is soul. Once we laughed and sang in the high heavens of God's pure light and sound at play in the park. But without the discipline or need to serve others, we, soul, served ourselves. So God sent us to earth for the rich experience of living in a world of duality, to suffer and enjoy extremes like heat and cold, wealth and poverty, or love and hate. It was all to learn the true nature of love. That's our mission. The first big lesson is to learn to love ourselves. So when young Deborah cried, I want to go home, I just want to go home, her plea was in a spiritual sense. In her abject misery, the faint but not extinguished memory of soul's one-time home flooded in upon her. She remembered that her true home wasn't on earth. She was but passing through. It says, accept life for what it is. As Deborah heard the sound of her own words, she snapped from her self-pity and returned to her human cage, timeless ages, yet a mere heartbeat from bliss in the heart of God. I am home, she realized. This time, she didn't mean her heavenly home, but earth. Hard, merciless, uncaring earth. I'm as home as I'm going to get, she said aloud. It won't get better here, so I may as well wipe my tears and plan for the day I'm old enough to leave. She stopped crying then. A key realization had stolen in upon her. Conditions might stumble along at home, but truth to tell, they were well within the limits of endurance. This suggested the need to accept her station in life. What an important realization for a child. The hand of God. Deborah grew up, married, and endured hardships that led to a budding maturity. Losing her firstborn son, the marriage missing a breakup by a narrow margin, and other such sufferings took her to the brink of hopelessness and abandonment. One day, depressed and despondent, she sought refuge in church. Catholicism was the faith of her youth. Now she had hit rock bottom. Inside the church, a prayer service was in session, and worshipers all around murmured soft prayers. At that moment, sunk in the depths of despair, she felt a hand of comfort come to rest upon her shoulder. Her eyes flew open in surprise. She glanced back to bless that gentle soul's touch, but empty air greeted her widened eyes. No one stood there. In a way, you could say it was the hand of God through the personage of a divine messenger, God itself. In ECK, we neither say him nor her. Does not descend into the human theater to move among people in the normal sense. Yet the deity does send spiritual messengers, often perceived as angels, saints, and the like. Deborah realized it in a heartbeat. A guardian angel had indeed placed a hand of reassurance and comfort upon her. Deborah's story is a wonderful example of how you too may experience a gentle nudging from divine spirit to help you on your journey home to God. Even before leaving church, she knew that a gift of grace had touched her with a special blessing. The extraordinary moment of realization was the assurance of an ancient truth. Life is more than a random walk, and divine presence had graced her. As a Catholic, more grounded in the physical side of life than the mystical, she was startled by such a realization of grace. It come through the touch of a gentle, albeit invisible hand. Eternity here and now. Since the years passed, in time Deborah bore a second son. We'll call him Jim. Once grown, he took an interest in spiritual things. Deborah did too. Though life's trials left raw wounds that begged for more time to heal, she still exercised caution about religion. Yet her view about the next spiritual step was a childlike one. Intuition whispered that when a student is ready, the master appears. And the resulting link-up is a most natural one. After all, hadn't she already waited years on end to discover the next step to truth after feeling the hand on her shoulder in church so long ago? What was another month or year? Jim, however, with all the exuberance and impatience of youth, took a more direct tack. Eternity now, he said. One day he was reading a book, in the back of which was listed a phone number. What are you reading? Said Deborah. There's something in it about eternity here and now, he replied. I'm going to call the number and see what I can find out. A pleasant, cheery voice came on the other line. They told him of an upcoming meeting where someone would explain more about the teachings. I'm going, he told his mother. Though leery of any religious teaching other than Catholicism, she decided to join him to ensure no one took advantage of her baby. Mother, please, he said, don't make a scene. Jim could imagine her throwing angry accusations at the group. He offered a compromise. If you promise not to embarrass me, you may come. So they set out. Near the end of the introductory meeting on the teachings of ECK, a speaker addressed the group. To give you a better idea of what I'm talking about, he said, I would like to invite you all to sing Hugh with me. Then very softly he and others began to chant Hugh. Hugh is an ancient holy name for God. You can sing it at home. Simply sit or lie in a quiet place and sing you. Pronounce you. This age-old song lets the voice of God enter you as love, light, or sound. Okay, I'm going to stop right here and I'll just do the rest later because it's already 10 minutes and 10 minutes too long. Happy tears, guys.